Hey, what is up guys, Houseplants here, and today we are going to be doing some repotting for some plantitas that I have growing in some little tubes. They're a little past due, to be repotted, so we're going to do that now. And you can tell this one has a lot of roots. Yeah, it's overdone. And I know people are gonna be saying in the comment section, it's gonna rot, when you put it in soil. The thing is, you need to keep it moist. From my past experiences with cuttings, with any kind of plant that I have in the past, you need to keep the plant always wet, always wet. Why? Because you're trying to basically, I guess you could say, acclimate it, or changing it in its current environment. Because think about it, if you have your plant in a tube for a long time propagating and has little root system, and you put it in soil, you're basically I guess shocking the plant. So you're transferring it from its current environment to a new environment. So yeah, just basically just transferring it over to something new. And what we're going to do today is we're going to replant it. We're going to keep the plant wet at all times for the next, for the next week. And after that week, we just slowly digress it. We just go down and down with the watering until it can fully stable itself with its environment. So let's do that today. And also, I'm also going to be propagating some of my plants. I can show you. So today we'll be propagating my variegated Maranta. So let's go with that. I propagated plants before. I haven't propagated this one, from its leaves. And I think I see a spider. No, is that a mealybug? No, they don't look like a mealybug. But I will do my variegated. Maranta, and I will be doing my lemon lime Maranta, which I got from Lowe's a couple days ago. It's when we went to go to that far location. But yes, this is the one I got, and I want to propagate it. And I know people are gonna say it's bushy, leave it the way it is. It's doing good. I know, but it doesn't hurt to have more plants, more baby plants of this one. I want to have more because I want to grow my plant collection. So I'm gonna do that today, and maybe some other ones. I'm not too sure what to propagate. So what I do is I have these 4-inch. I think they're 4-inch. They're 4-inch pot containers. You can buy one from Amazon for I think for 100 for $9 or $8. So I have this one. So what I do is I get a bit of soil, like this amount, and put it in. Maybe 1/4 of a pot, and I just put a little bit of pressure, putting it down. As you can see, a little bit, so a little bit of 1/3, I guess. And okie dokie. So that's step one. So let's take out the plant that we're gonna put in the soil, and then what I'm gonna see is that which one has bigger stems. Because if it has bigger stems, I will put it in a more bigger pot. So let's see. Is this a whole plant? Yeah, this is a whole plant. So we're not doing this one. This I can wait. I guess what I can do, I can do it for these. This is another This is the one that broke off. Because when I was bringing the lemon lime Maranta up, it snapped. I was holding it wrong a little bit, and hopefully it'll put out roots. I'm not sure, but I just have it propagating in the water for right now. Hopefully it does something. But let's take out, I think these are way past due. I'm still gonna try it out. A little string of heart cuttings that my boyfriend gave me. So let's try them out. I feel like they're way past due, but I believe in myself. See, so for this one, we're gonna leave it like this. So I'm just putting it in like softly so it doesn't damage any roots. Almost have it like this, yeah. Okay, okie dokie. Basically just have it like that, if you can see it. Yeah. I'm gonna try it like this. If it doesn't work, at least I tried. That's the most important thing. There's a root right there. Let's see. Just do it like that. So, you got some more soil. And what I like to do, I like to sprinkle it. And take some residue off. And do a little tapping. Tap, 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 tap. Okay, there you go. I'll leave you in here for a while. So I would water this one soon. Well, not water it, but just leave it with a saucer full water for the first couple of days. And after that, start diluting it like slowly, give it less water over time. That's the first one. I've never propagated string of hearts in a pot successfully, so this will be my first time. Hopefully it works. So that's plant 1 done. So let's do the next one. If I'm doing it wrong, guys, please let me know so I can do it right. I'm still new, I'm still learning. So if I'm doing something wrong, I would like advice. So let's do this one. So we have our little looking glass begonia, which I might put you in the bigger pot actually. This is too, is it good? I want to know, let's see. It's too small. I think this one. This one should be fine. It's sturdy. So we're gonna do this one. This looking glass begonia. I already had put it out in this new leaf. And it has a little couple roots, or a little root system. So let's do that. Like I said, get a little bit of soil, put it in there. Like so. And then this is my also another tip. So what I do is that I put the roots like this, standing up, and put the soil in. It's an extra leaf. Just stand up by its own. That should be sort of perfect. Let's go a little bit more. Okie dokie, that should be good. And it's gonna be a little bit wobbly for the first, like I said, first couple of days, maybe week. So after that, it should start getting situated in its little pot. And obviously, since it's not supposed to be in this pot, but it's just for right now until I can repot into a bigger pot. But it looks pretty cute. So that plant's done. Let's go on to the next one, which I might have to put more soil in this one, not too sure. But yes, let's go to the next one. All these are done. Put you back Okie dokie, let's go to this one. This little beauty has been propagating for the longest time. Look at that. Okay, let's put it in its little pot, which it might be the same one. We always reuse these pots. This is the one from either Shades of Green or Rainbow Gardens. Let's do that. Let's put some soil. Let me start ranting a little bit. So, as I don't know if y'all know, but I do DoorDash, like on my morning times, whenever I'm not posting. Well, whenever I'm not posting and whenever I'm not as busy. So, I do DoorDash. It's just my main job, I guess you could say. It's my main job. And, you know, I've been doing it for a while now. And sometimes it's kind of stressful with these like customers, you know. And I know I might have maybe gotten some of y'all's orders if you're from San Antonio, but like it's stressful because sometimes, like, you know, when you go to the restaurant and to pick up the order, and you know, sometimes they take forever, you know. It's like really annoying, and it's really annoying. I'm just gonna say that. Like today I had an order, no, not today, yesterday I had an order. See, there you go, like that, perfectly like that. So like the other day I had an order and I thought I was gonna pick it up right away. I think the time was pickup time was 5:13. So I go and I checked for the order. They said the order was not gonna be ready for another 20 minutes. And I was like, wait a minute, I can't wait that long because I have a certain quota of how long you need to wait. Theoretically, you should give time for the store, the location, and for the customer to know. Like I would say you should give the store at least 10 minutes to know when, you know, like you should give the store at least 10 minutes. Like give them a chance of 10 minutes to see if the order will be ready by that time. But you know, sometimes they'll just like not lie, because I know it's not on like their fault, but they're inaccurate with the times. And you know, it's something that's really, really annoying. And you know, and I canceled that order. I was like, I can't do this order, I'm sorry. So I go to the next one. I go to Chili's. It was like right down the street. So I was like, okay, it's the Chili's. Was like, I think it was like a $9 order. And then, you know, I thought it was gonna be quick because I trust Chili's a lot more than the restaurant I went to. I think the restaurant I went to was Buffalo Wild Wings. So I went to Chili's, and turns out it'll be the same thing. And I understand, you know, people get overwhelmed at work, you know, with a bunch of customers. I've been through that myself because I worked at Little Caesars before. Not saying it's the same as Chili's, but you know, I know how that works, you know, when you get overwhelmed with customers. But yeah, I was waiting. They told me it was gonna be 20 minutes. So I said, no, I can't wait that long. And I canceled the order again for that store. And the same customer texted me back saying, why did you cancel my order? Because I guess they were trying to text me when they were trying to text me while they were checking about the order. They're like, well, why'd you cancel the order? Like, why don't you want to do it? And I told them, well, they're taking forever. They're taking long, more than what they're supposed to be. They got a little bit bothered. They're like, well, you're supposed to be doing your job and everything. I was like, yes, of course. You know, I'm not saying you're wrong on that. But, you know, when people have to go do things, you know, it's just a little stressful. Because people expect you to do their order, you know, fast, you know, conveniently done and all that. If I cancel on them, it's because I can't wait. I really can't. I have my quota. If they take forever, no, I'm not. That's not my fault. I did my job. They were inaccurate. They did not communicate with me. They did, but you know, it just sucks. Then there's gonna be those times where, you know, you're not gonna get as much money. Like today I made $99, which is not bad. Yesterday I made 102, which it's a lot of information given out, but I do allow it so you know how much a dasher makes. But yes, I made $99.69 today. It's not bad, you know, but it's just like, it just sucks. And the plus, like some of the orders won't even come through right. Like I had this one order the other day. It was supposed to be, what was it? If I can remember. It was supposed to be an order for 5 guys. I got the order and went to it and then all that. And then, you know, I asked for the order from the front desk from 5 guys, like, you know, from the lobby. They're like, oh, they already took that order. So I was just like, I was just assigned this order, so I don't know how that can happen. They're like, yeah, they picked up that order like a while back. I was like, I just picked up the order. But but yeah, it's just, I want to say this a little bit. Give like dashers a little break, you know, because sometimes it's like, it's not even the dashers that take forever, it's the restaurant. And a lot of like dashers get blamed that blame on them, and it's not really fair. You know, we're just doing our job. You know, we're just trying to pick up the order and take it back to y'all as fast as we can. That's just how I see it. I've never had an issue with the customer, like maybe like twice, but that was probably because, you know, I was taking like forever. But also, that's another thing I need to talk about, is that if you order from a location, just know how long it's gonna take from the food to get from the store to your house. Because some people don't know, they're like, why'd you take more than 10 minutes to deliver my order? I'm like, you do know your orders across like San Antonio. Like, you do know that, right? And they'll start like, you know, one of them like got mad at me. They're like, you need to be fast, you know, I've never had an issue. I'm like, think about traffic, think about what could happen, think about the distance, think about like the pay, why nobody wanted to take it, why it's just, there's a lot of possibilities. But on a side note, we propagated all the plants. So let's go through a little back through. Look at that. That's one of them. I'll show you all the ones I did already. This is the one I did a little while ago. It has little roots popping up, but that I'll fix that over time. I'll probably put it in a different pot. Just for right now. And here's this one. String of Hearts. Which looks bad, but I hope it really pops back up. These two. But yes, those are the plants that I propagated in water. I want to say a couple things with these plants. The Looking Glass Begonia, I would rather propagate it in water rather than sphagnum moss, because I did that. I have 2 successful cuttings that are doing sphagnum moss, but the only thing is that when the other cuttings that I did, they rotted with the sphagnum moss. And so far I've been successful with water propagations with the Looking Glass Begonia, so I suggest doing water propagating on Looking Glass Begonias. Anything that has a stem, like Angel Begonia, Cane Begonia, the Looking Glass Begonia, anything that has a stem with a leaf. So that's on that. Now next, I'm going to be doing propagations for my variegated Maranta and my lemon lime Maranta. Alrighty guys, I'm back. I took a little break, but let's go back to where we left off. So I have my little propagation station here, some sphagnum moss. So we're gonna try this method again. So let's get it wet. So what I'm gonna do, because I need to change the water out, I'm gonna reuse whatever I have left in one of the little bottles from the propagation. So we're gonna water it. I don't like wasting water, so let's put it in there. Let's mix it. I know some came off. Let's see. I don't want to put too much because that's where last time it started to rotten up. So let's do this. I think that's fine. Okay, that's fine. So what should we start on first? Guess we can start on, I want to do the variegated cuttings in water since they're more, there's a little less of them. So let's do the propagations from lemon lime Maranta. So let's look for little nodes. If I can find one. That one? Yeah, I found one. Let's hit it a little bit. Got one's pretty big. So got one. Got another one. Right? Yeah. Got another one. Is this one? Yes. Got another one. Let's find this one here. Sometimes they don't have them like developed. So I gotta go to the next one. Like this one. Got this one. It doesn't look good. It does. There's another one. Another one. Let's find the last one. I think that should be good actually. Yeah, I don't want to cut too much. So that's the aftermath of the plant. Still bushy, but try to get rid of the dead leaves. Okay. Okie dokie. So we got ourselves. So I'm gonna do propagations, some of the propagations in here, so y'all can see. So we're gonna start with not that long one. I think this one's fine. So we're gonna start with this one. So it has a little node over here. You can see it, little node. We're gonna put this one in here, just under the little sphagnum moss. Just let it do its thing. Okay. Next one, no, not this one. This one fine. Look at all my other options. I think this one's fine. Then this one has a little note as well, right here on the side. And start putting it here. So this is my first attempt doing propagations with Marantas and the sphagnum moss. So I'm gonna have 2 of these there. Then I close it up and let it do its thing. I will check back on it and close it right. I will check back on it in a couple of days from now, so I don't want to be going back and forth to the plant and checking if it has fruits. So I'm gonna check it probably like on the 3rd day. I will post updates. So yes, here's this. I'm gonna one station done. And then from here, we're gonna go with water propagations again. I usually use the same water. It's been doing good so far for all the plants, but I've been using the same water. So let's stick you in there like that. Do I have enough for all of y'all? Yeah, I do. Let's see. Put you in here. This. Put you in here. Okay, so my phone ran out of storage, so I don't know where I left off, but I did my propagation station. So those are done. So I just put the Maranta cuttings inside the sphagnum moss to see if it would work. So we're gonna wait on a couple days to check up on them. And then the rest of the cuttings I did from the lemon lime Maranta, I put them in the little containers and let them get their roots. From there we'll have another set of lemon lime Maranta babies, yeah. Put this one in there. Good enough. And this one I can stick it with you. Okie dokie. So that's the next line of Marantas. They're gonna be in my collection. So let's hope for the best. Same thing with the propagation station. And let's put these little girls where they belong. Which I might do right now in a bit. But let's move on to the lemon lime, or the Maranta, the prayer plant. So I'm gonna get rid of this. I'm not even get rid of it, but just actually I'm gonna get rid of it. Dang, it has a lot of flies. That's how I know it works. I put you there. Cover them. Store it back up again. So let's do cuttings on this one. And I'm only gonna do a few, maybe like one or two. I don't wanna do too much. And I see mealybugs, that's nice. That's really nice. I'll clean it off right now, it's fine. Just hate these little motherfuckers. Die. Okay. I don't think this one has a, does it? I don't think so. Oh, that's a lot of mealybugs. It's infested. No. But let's do a cutty. This one's infested a little bit. Okay, yeah. It's infested a little bit with mealybugs. That's nice. That's just got great news, I guess, from this freaking plant. So it's 2-1 right here. Just doing two cuttings. That's it. I'm just doing 2 cuttings. So we're gonna let it grow back and let its plant do its thing. So the mother plant is right here. Just cut the excess unnecessary stuff. And it's back to its little original form. And just put out a lot of good healthy cuttings, which I might rinse off because of mealybugs. But yes, so I think this is a mixed solution that my boyfriend had made for the mealybugs. So let's spray them off. I was just gonna kill. He said it'll kill them on contact, so hopefully. Let's do spray. So do tighten it and turn it. Drain it a little bit. That should do it. Put it right there. And this one should have a few inside of its little thing. Flip it. Okay, this should be good. Drenched it a little bit. Let's do that. Okay. And with this one, since there are the variegated versions, they're just going to be popped in the water. Like so. Same thing with this one. Like so. There you go. Those are placed in the watering thing. So over time, I will check up on them to see if they have their roots. But yes, other than that, guys, that's pretty much it for today. Just a little bit of repotting, a little bit of cutting, and hopefully I get some new plants. But if you like the video, please give it a big thumbs up. I do really appreciate it. Other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate every single one of y'all watching my videos. And that's pretty much it for the propagation for right now. I will do some probably down the line. I'm not too sure on which ones yet, but I will do a video dedicated on the actual propagations that I did with the other begonias. On a side note, if y'all like me to be more, you know, chatty on like my stories and everything, because I do have a lot of stories, just tell me in the description box below and I'll just rant a little bit. But other than that, guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.